Welcome to the Feed Your Family Tonight podcast. Do you dread hearing the question, what's for dinner? Whether you spend your days keeping up with toddlers, running kids to after-school activities, or juggling a career and family, getting dinner on the table can be a struggle for us all. I'm Mariefiebach, a business owner, wife, and mom of 4. I'm on a mission to build stronger families one dinner at a time, and I'm here with tips, tricks, and inspiration you need to feed your family tonight. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Feed Your Family Tonight podcast, episode 163. I'm your host, Mariefiebach. I'm so happy to be here with you today. If you're listening to this live time, it is the middle of December. And today is a podcast. The icon for this podcast is purple. And when I have purple, I'm usually talking about motivation. And today I have 3 tips for feeding your family in December. And how this ties to motivation is that in December, I don't have a lot of motivation to cook. I want to do like the fun things like make gingerbread cookies with my family. And there's a few like special family food traditions that I want to do. But day in, day out in December, I am either in one of 2 places. I am crazy busy, so busy I can barely keep my eyeballs above water, or we're in that week between Christmas and New Year's, and my husband usually doesn't work that much during that week, and my kids are all home from school, and it's kind of a little bit slower pace time. So it's complete extremes in December. It's either like going until you drop, or it's this like really slow, almost too slow, relaxing time. And in both of those situations, I really don't want to spend a lot of my time cooking. And so I have 3 tips for you to help you during December to feed your family with minimal work so that you can really enjoy the things that are most important. The first tip is that now is the time to use those backup meals. If you've been around Feed Your Family Tonight for a hot minute, you know that I call a backup meal anything that you can get on the table in 20 minutes or less with ingredients you have in your house all the time. Because everybody has a time in their life where the wheels are going to fall off and you've got to get dinner on the table. And so I keep ingredients for my backup meals all the time. Some of my favorite backup meals are bean and cheese quesadillas. I'll link to that recipe in the show notes. I keep tortillas and cheese in the freezer and a can of refried beans in my pantry, and I can get that on the table with a quick salad or some frozen veggies or cut up fruit, and dinner is on the table. I also really like chicken noodle soup. I usually have some cooked chicken meat in the freezer and some chicken broth. I boil up some noodles and put that with a salad, and dinner's on the table fast. A lot of families use breakfast for dinner as a backup meal, and that works really, really well too. You know, some eggs or a pancake mix. I've said this before, but now is the time to use those backup meals as your meal plan. It is okay to put on your weekly meal planning sheet that you can get at feedyourfamilytonight.com/plan if you need that. But put on your weekly meal planning sheet breakfast for dinner or bean and cheese quesadillas, because you know that that's a day that you're running. Today, I have work all day, and then I have play practice with my daughter, and then I've got to come home, and then I'm doing an Instagram live with a friend. It is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs around my house this time of year. And in your house, might be as well. Maybe you've got school music programs or plays, or you're running off to see Christmas lights. It doesn't matter what the activity is that makes you busy. But sometimes it's okay to use one of those crazy simple meals as your main meal. This also works on those slower days where you know that you've kind of got a slow pace and you're enjoying the time between Christmas and New Year's. And the key to that is enjoying the time. And you don't want to be burdened with being in the kitchen all day, making some elaborate meal that your family may or may not appreciate. It is okay to put some of those backup meals as your meal plan during December. It will give you so much brain space. Your family's not going to care that much. And they're fed with food that they like, simple family meals, and you can sit back and relax and enjoy what's happening. The second tip that I have is to think about cooking big proteins with enough to have leftovers that you can repurpose throughout the week. Now, before I get into some of my ideas for that, I want you to know my family would complain if I had like the same thing back to back 2 days in a row. So I kind of like to do it where I spread it out like every other day for about 3 or 4 meals. The leftovers will be safe in the refrigerator for about 5 days. And so if I spread it out about every other day and then throw in some other meals in between, then my family doesn't feel like they've had a week of ham because it can happen and your family can get tired of that. So to avoid that, try and just spread out these meals. So on the first day, cook a large protein. Ham is a really easy one that you can do. And with the ham, you can make a breakfast strata, or you can use it to make my ham bierox. Oh my goodness, friends, if you like bierox, these ham bierox are so simple and they use canned biscuits as the dough. So they're really kind of a fast and easy meal, but a kind of a fun way to repurpose leftover ham. I'll link to that recipe in the show notes. Or maybe you use it to make hot ham and cheese sandwiches or ham and cheese paninis for a quick and easy dinner. If you get really ambitious, you can take that ham bone and you can cook it and make some type of a ham soup, like a ham and beans or a split pea soup. My aunt makes like a minestrone with the ham. I do not have that recipe, but it is so delicious. And basically it's just a minestrone made with a ham bone. It's so, so good. The other thing about that is if you decide that you don't want to be ambitious and you don't use that ham bone, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can freeze it for a time when you do feel ambitious, or you can let it go. And it's okay to not maximize everything that you're using all the time. So if you decide that you're going to feel guilty by cooking a ham and then you really don't want to make a soup with a ham bone, I'm giving you permission to let it go. It's all about making dinner and family time work in your home during this time of December. And I really want you to be free of the burden of feeling overwhelmed about the food so that you can really focus on the things that are more important. Now, if you don't like ham or you want something else, cook a turkey breast. You can make a turkey breast in your Instant Pot in an hour. They're really super fast and easy to make. And then you can have turkey one night. You can make turkey pot pie. I've got a cheater turkey pot pie recipe on the website that uses puff pastry. It's crazy easy. You can throw it together in 20 minutes if the turkey's already cooked. It's super fun. Or turn it into a turkey tetrazzini or turkey tacos. There's lots of things that you can do with the leftover turkey meat. So again, you're cooking it and then you're repurposing it in different ways throughout the rest of the week. You can do this with roast beef too. Make yourself a big roast beef, have roast beef one night, make it into French dip sandwiches. I've got a recipe on that for that on the website. Make it into French dip sandwiches. Cut it up and mix it with some veggies and a little bit of broth and thicken it up kind of like I do for the turkey pot pie and turn it into like a shepherd's pie. You know, shepherd's pie is traditionally lamb, cottage pie is traditionally ground beef, but there's nothing to say that you couldn't make a shepherd's pie with leftover shredded roast beef and top it with the mashed potatoes and bake it. It could be fast and easy, kind of a simple way to repurpose that roast beef. The key with those is you're making a large amount and then you're repurposing it into new ways later in the week. And because the protein's already cooked, then you have fast and easy meals. And again, if your family is the type where they're not up for ham 3 days in a row, it's okay to do it every other day. Most food, if it's handled properly, can last up to 5 days, sometimes even 7 in the refrigerator, and it'll be food safe. And it gives you just a little bit of a break from the heavy duty cooking. My third tip for cooking and feeding your family in December is to think about cold or no-cook meals. You know, right now, all the rage is charcuterie boards. They're everywhere. Why don't you do a charcuterie board for a game night or a movie night for your family? You don't have to have it for a party. You can make a charcuterie board just for your family. You can have sandwiches for dinner. You know, so many times when we're going to the drive-thru, we're hitting a restaurant and we're getting sandwiches, but we forget to make sandwiches as an intentional meal for our family at home. Make sandwiches for dinner or serve a big chef salad. I have a story about a chef salad at Christmas. When my husband first asked me out on a date, it was December of 1998, and he asked me if he could take me out to lunch on the day after Christmas. And I said, I'm usually shopping with my family the day after Christmas, but maybe we could do it the next day. And so on the 27th of December in 1998, my husband came and picked me up for our very first date, and he took me to this sports bar downtown. Now, if you know me and you know my husband, I have learned to become a sports fan because I love my husband and he has taught me the pleasure of watching sports. In 1998, Marie Sheldon was not a sports fan, but we went to the sports bar. They had, traditional bar food, but it was the 27th of December, and I had had my fill of rich foods that my family had had for Christmas, traditional rich Christmas foods. And so I ordered a chef salad, and my husband ordered a hamburger, which is so funny because usually when we go to a restaurant, my husband would be the one ordering the salad and I'm the one ordering the burger. But that day we were complete opposites, which is just so funny. And this chef salad was a terrible bar food chef's salad. It was like, watery iceberg lettuce with bad deli ham and who knows how many days old hard cooked eggs on top. But it was good because my body was tired of the heavy foods for Christmas and I just craved some veggies and something lighter. And so I had this chef salad. Come about the 27th of December, your family's probably going to feel the same way, where you're tired of the heavy Christmas foods and you're ready for something lighter. So why not have a big chef salad for dinner? Throw some ham on it that you cooked from a ham earlier, or throw some deli ham on it, hard boil some eggs, drain yourself a can of garbanzo beans, and you have this cold, easy, no-cook dinner that actually feels kind of refreshing from all of the traditional heavy Christmas foods. I have a little bonus tip, and that is buy yourself a pre-made veggie tray from the grocery store or your big box store and pull it out every afternoon when you're fixing dinner, or pull it out every night for dinner. It has dip there. The veggies are already cleaned. You don't have to cut any veggies. You don't have to clean any veggies. And your family will be wanting some veggies after Christmas. In my house, the carrots seem to go the fastest. And so I'll buy a pre-made veggie tray, but then I'll buy an extra bag of baby carrots. Now, I've said before, I really prefer the carrots that are peeled and cut, but this is the week after Christmas. And I'm about getting myself out of the kitchen and making life a little easier. And my family won't complain too much if they have a week of bagged baby carrots rather than me actually cleaning and cutting the carrots. So I'll buy an extra bag of baby carrots to kind of supplement what's in that pre-made veggie tray. But get yourself a pre-made veggie tray, throw it out on the table, and let your family get some fresh veggies that they're going to be craving in that week after Christmas. The whole goal with all of this is for you to worry less about feeding your family so that you can enjoy the time that you have with your family, whether it's in those busy weeks heading up to Christmas or it's that quiet week after Christmas. Either way, it will feel so good to have simple meals that nourish your family and don't take a lot of time on your part. So friends, I can't wait to hear what kinds of foods you serve after Christmas and the kinds of foods you're serving right now during this busy time of December. Join me in the Feed Your Family Tonight Facebook group, and we'll be talking about foods that we serve during Christmas, after Christmas, and hear some of the traditional family foods that you are serving in your home over Christmas and over the holidays. So join me over there in the Feed Your Family Tonight Facebook group, and I hope you have a wonderful December. For now, friends, take care.